Linda, Al, we're boomers. And I feel as though we've become a punchline, and this show exemplifies that. Uh, Oliver, first, what do you think of boomers?
What do I think of boomers? Oh man, we don't have enough time. But I think that you guys are an incredibly lucky bunch because you kind of came into existence in a perfect time in this world, in this country. And I don't think, as with any generation, you realize how good you have it sometimes and what the ramifications of certain decisions are going to be. And I think for the most part, you led with good intentions, but that didn't always, pan out well or to everyone else's advantage.
Change is in the wind.
Send it my way.
It was one of those, oh gosh, I don't know, one of those I know too much but never enough sort of sunrises. You know what I mean.
No, I don't.
So anyway, I sent a guy to New Mexico to get a dozen more.
Fucking teepees?
Cone tents. We're gonna fill the field with them.
For what?
I'm not sure.
Oliver, what was the most ridiculous thing that you learned about your dad and that time?
While doing the show or just in general?
I'm going to turn off for this one.
Yeah.
No, you have to listen.
Oh God, the most ridiculous thing. God, I can't
Only my
even
belly
answer that.
button.
No, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I don't think I learned anything ridiculous about him making the show. I think I knew everything prior to it. So, the show was pretty easy in comparison.
Corbin, this is a little bit about hubris and about thinking that I had all the answers and now realizing that you don't.
Right.
Did you get that sense in making this, in that characterization?
I mean, look, I'm 71 and we're trying to get an independent TV pilot on the air, not going through streaming. We're going to try all these weird avenues to do it. But, and I said, well, I'm 71. What am I doing this for now? Because it's there to do. And you just never know what the experience is going to be. I mean, I didn't know when I started this thing that Oliver was going to come aboard and direct it. I didn't know Steven would be this guy, Calvin, that I created. And so I just keep moving forward with good intentions, the best of intentions, and don't take a lot of no. I'm not sure if that answers your question, but it's sort of the way I've moved forward in my life. And I probably will till when death knocks on my door, I'm going to go, not yet. No.
Well, it's about reinvention.
It's all, but it is about reinvention. Our cells reinvent themselves every day. Man is reinvented. Look at where we are as human beings in nature and all that. Look at the world, from the way it's reinvented. We are reinvention, if nothing. If you carry the anchor of guilt and remorse too much and grief, you carry too much of that with you, you won't be clear to really, head out in a new direction. So I'm trying personally to release all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I've actually found it very satisfying.
Stephen, talking about the personification of death comes for you and you say, not now. That's your character. That's your character in
And
this.
not now.
And not now.
Not now.
That must have been a fun way to approach a character from the great beyond.
Yeah, it was a shock at first. At first, I was shocked that I was going to die so quickly. And then it dawned on me, as being a seasoned professional in this business, it's so much harder to fire someone when they're already dead. I mean, in the old days, you remember the way you got rid of a character on a TV show is you just have the funeral without them, and then they're gone. But if you're already dead and you're on the show, you're going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
So I was really kind of happy.
Wow, that's great.
And then
I
I had
didn't
Corbin.
even put that together.
Yeah. No. Well, it takes the nearly dead mind to come up with that
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, the nearly dead, decrepit actor to really finally
That's
realize.
right. That's very good. So I was very happy with this whole thing. I just want to second something that Corbin said, and that is, It's so true that the first half of our life we kind of build our life on dreams, and the second half of our life we build our life on consequences. And I think that's the thing that's so startling to all of us, and that's why there's so many people who are psychiatrists, you know, in this business to help people make the transition from dream to consequence. And I think this script carries that idea kind of beautifully. It's kind of like one of the forever ideas that these guys kind of hardwired into the story, which I love.
You give any thought to the thing? You know what we were discussing?
What, selling my house?
Yeah, guys chomping at the bit. You call the terms, doesn't get any sweeter.
So that's why I'm here. It's not about the fucking teepee.
Cone tint. All cash, opportunity knocks.
For who?
For you!
Did you add anything, a line here or there that carried through what you were trying to get through in a scene?
Well, I think, you know, well, with Corbin and I,
This is my favorite
with
line.
Corbin and I,
don't
there
know
will,
about anything, but go ahead.
there will always be something that is kind of off the books that kind of ends up in there. But, you know, that's just kind of our past. Together, we've ended up having to do that to survive. So that happens quite often, and Oliver is quite gracious in letting that occur. I mean, you have to have a director that gives space and breath and doesn't give you electroshock therapy if you start doing that kind of stuff. So
If you got a guy like Steven, you're going to get good.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd be a fool not to let Steven go and make it his own. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no holding back.
never, not well, no, but part of the not holding back is the fact that the script was so good. I mean, the script is so good. The first time down the runway, you know, the first show you have here is good, and the characters are laid out beautifully, and so many of them are compelling. So you know, that's the kind of trampoline you're bouncing off of. So that's a good thing.
Oliver, let's talk about both the freedom and the constraints you have in being completely independent production.
Again, I think that, like, you know, coming from growing up around that, because like that's what Corbin did, you know, when he was working, and he grew up making independent movies and not television, but independent cinema. I just kind of like learned how to do it that way, and I do really like it. I like the freedom and also the constraints that it puts on you to be very deliberate. You know, you don't get a lot of time to just fuck around and, you know, figure out whatever you think that you're going to do. You kind of have to make decisions.
Corbin, do you take a little Roger Corman with you into your projects?
1,000%. I mean,
Big time.
we grew up, I grew up around Roger Corman. My godfather was a friend of his. I built Roger Corman's house. I built his office building. I was in, Eat My Dust with Ron Howard was a Roger Corman movie. I was to answer your question, I loved it. I loved sitting. I remember one day sitting on some steps. It was a movie called The Trip that my sister was in with Peter Fonda. Jack Nicholson wrote The Trip. We're just shooting at this little house in a little canyon with a crew that looks very much like Oliver's crews on his movie. And we're like, yeah, this is, you know, the big thing is fun, and there's a lot of ego, and there's money and good catering, but there's just something about the indie world, and sit with a family to make a film and make just to tell a story with a group of people that are all experts in their own thing, but small, like a family. And I really love that. You know, again, like Ollie said, you know, if somebody wants to throw a ton of money at us, it'd be at this point, a really tough decision, because you just don't want to screw up this thing we have. And I know I love what we did, what you saw. That is as close to what I had in my head. And to clean it up and sanitize it and brighten it up and more lights, more shots, it's just, I don't know. I think this story needs to be told in an indie way. Because if you try to do it anything else, it'll be some ABC with all due respect, a Ted Danson vehicle on ABC TV, and that isn't what this is. Those are great. He's wonderful, but that isn't this.
Yeah.
Understand.
Well, I hope that you get money thrown at you to keep doing the way you're doing it.
We just need a little bit of money thrown at us.
Yeah.
And congratulations.
Congratulations.
We really
Nice talking
really
with you.
enjoyed it, as everybody who's seen it has, I'm sure. So
This is
much-
because you're a bald guy with a little bit of facial hair. That's
here we are.
Tobolowsky. We're all, in fact, the new version of the scenes. I actually wrote a series at one point called Bald to do.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm available.